Good morning, Savannah. Good morning, Chatham County. Good morning, Georgia. Good morning. This is the Vulnerable Community, and we are here with you this morning. We've got some interesting topics to talk about this morning, and with us this morning, I have my co-host, Reverend Alan Maynor, and we're going to get started, and we're going to talk about some things that you should know about around Savannah. Later on, we will be talking about ESPLOST even. So you stay tuned and listen and get the information that you need. Good morning, Reverend Maynard. How are you?
Good morning, Elder Jerome Irwin. Good morning, Vulnerable Community. Good morning, Savannah. Good morning, Chatham County. As he said, I am the one and only, the Reverend Alan Maynor. We're here this morning to let you know that we're still standing 10 toes down, fighting for the least, the lost, and the left out.
Sure hope your toes wasn't turned up.
And again, like I said, we're standing 10 toes down, fighting for the least, the lost, and the left out, especially for SB 125, where that's a bill that I really am in support of with one of our courageous leaders by the name of Senator Donzella James. She's heading this bill at the state senate, and this bill is to help us put a cap locally on our situation on such things as rent and high taxes. We find people are being priced out of their own neighborhoods. We're finding people that are struggling, and an economy that of today where people don't even make enough to buy a loaf of bread. It's the living the federal wages is $7.25. Eggs cost $9. Eggs cost $9. So imagine how people are feeling being priced out of their own homes at $1,800 to $1,600 at market rate, when they don't even have a living wage to support such. That's crazy today. But that's what we're here to talk about.
Reverend Maynard, I went to the store the other day, and I'm used to picking up the eggs.
Mm-hmm.
two and a half dozen, whatever that is, they wrap together. Because my wife buys groceries most of the time. But I picked the eggs up. My wife told me when I got home, you know how much them eggs cost? I said, no. She said, them eggs are $24.
Yes, sir. Because you got two 18. And they're at those 18 in the packs are now at almost $9. So yes, sir. You're looking at that. So imagine you making $10 an hour, your rent being $2,200.
Yeah.
You have 5 children. They need clothes. They need food, insurance. You need health insurance. You have to put gas in your car insurance. That does not include lights, gas, and water.
That's right.
The light bill has gone up $100.
So
that's crazy, because we don't even make that type of money. In order to be sustainable in today's society, you have to make $40 and above an hour.
That's
an
right.
hour. Just to be sustainable. And I don't see that happening, because I don't even see them putting a clause in or putting a living wager in to help their people, the citizens. So that's why we're fighting for this SB 125 bill, to get a leverage so people can feel comfortable, because in Atlanta right now, they are evicting people, not because of lack of not paying their rent. It's because they can't afford to pay their utilities.
That's it.
They can't afford the utilities, so they have 72 hours to put the utilities back on, or they're being evicted. So you
Wow.
have to choose between paying your rent and paying your light bill. And if you don't pay your light bill, you're still being evicted.
Well, the thing is, our politicians have let this happen to us, and greed has caused us great harm. We look at how many of our politicians own properties, and they're getting their rent paid. They're getting their rent money, and we're sitting back. They're just letting it go up because they can keep going and keep going. It's not right. That's why we need to have a cap on it. That's why we need to champion Ms. Gonzalo, Senator Gonzalo, so that we can make sure that somebody has a way to put a cap on this rent.
Yes, sir. And if the listeners are out there listening today, if you want to be a part of something bigger than yourself, we have petitions out here. We have petitions that you can sign, that you can say, yes, I'm a believer. I fight with you and fight for you. We have the petitions out, and we've come together. We've had a call of action. Now we're taking these petitions to Atlanta to stand with our dear senator. We have our senators here. We have our state reps here, but nobody is yelling this. I have to give grace where it needs to be. That state representative Carl Gilliard did bring the senator down. Thank God for that. And that was our first encounter with the housing bill. And it was a housing, what was a conference. And they had the city manager there. They had the Chamber of Commerce there. They had everyone there but the citizens. Everybody who was affected by it was not in the room. And that's what we need to start having open dialogue, so the people that is most affected by it can sit in the room and hear and have and ask questions and share their opinions, because it affects them more than anybody.
Well, let me ask you this. You said everybody was in the room except for the people. Was it well advertised?
And the thing was, and again, I found out that day of, so I cannot speak about that. I don't know, so I would be remiss to say yes or no.
Okay. Well, if you found out about it the day of, I guarantee you're supposed to be in the know. You don't. They don't very much who gets around you, but several things have happened that several meetings have taken place. You don't hear about it until an hour before the meeting. So it's like we just want to get a couple people there just to say we had a meeting.
Well, and like you said, it's always a certain type of people they want there. Right. They don't want all of us there. They want a certain type of persons in the room. So, right. They don't want the least, the lost, and the left out, because they want to leave them out. But if we start pulling up and attending, see, we have been neglected so much, and I'm Elder Jerome. We've been neglected so much that we're comfortable in that spot now. We're comfortable being left out. Until it's time for us to get some help and ask for help, or I need help. We're comfortable with not showing up for anything until it's our turn, unless we're hurting. But I'm there if you're hurting or not. We have to show up and show out, because this is our people we're talking about, our community. And if we neglect such a thing as ourselves, who's going to help us if we don't even help ourselves?
Well, that's the thing. And while we're talking about helping ourselves, I'm going to say good morning to Era Scott and James Smith this morning, and Theodore Rios. We say good morning to you this morning from the vulnerable community. We see you on this morning, and we're glad to have you with us. I know y'all watch us about every week, so we're glad to have you with us, and we ask you to keep on watching and get the information and get it back and carry it back to the community. Yeah, but Reverend Maynard, I'm a firm believer that if we take the time to go out there and talk to these people, then somebody ought to take the time to listen. But
Elder, I'm gonna say this to you, and I want to talk more about the special election that's going to come up. I know that we have Mr. Charlie Brown coming on talking about the ESPLOST, but there's going to be a special election even after the ESPLOST, and it's going to be for public service commissioner, and that's in our district.
Right.
Enoch is, Echo is finally leaving. He has made so many backdoor deals with Georgia Power till it's sad, and have neglected the people who elected him to represent them with payoffs and pay cuts, and so now they want to take and put SB 96 in place, to put a special panel together. Now, first and foremost, we got to see that this is an election. So we're electing a commissioner,
right,
that's getting a six-figured income plus perks. Okay? Right. First and foremost, let's
hold that thought right there. Keep that thought. It's time for us to take a quick break. And we'll be right back in just a minute so we can finish that part of the conversation before we go into the net, because that is very important to us. So let's go for the break, and we'll be right back.
For almost 20 years, ESPLOST has helped support our Chatham County schools and students and keep our property taxes low. Thanks to ESPLOST, Chatham County has better, safer schools, and we're keeping our property taxes low. All of these amazing benefits can continue by keeping a simple 1 penny sales tax that ensures we continue investing in our children's future. Our community thrives when we invest in it. Let's keep the momentum going. Vote early or on March 18th. Vote yes on ESPLOST.
Hello, world. We're here, serving Savannah, Atlanta, Jacksonville, Brooklyn, Houston, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, and the world. The best music all the time. The greatest songs ever made, every time. Tune in to Hot 2100 Savannah and get a taste for your ears. Hot 2100 Savannah, serving Savannah and the world.
I'd be damned if it's me. I see why you mad, you ain't swagging like this.
All right, we're back. Now, Reverend Maynard, you started talking about.
Yes, I was talking about SB 96. SB 96 is going to be it's for utilities, transportation, and Medicare expansion. And in this, they're trying to put a panel together, a panel to watch the commissioner. That's what the voters do. That's where the voters come in to hold him accountable. He's already getting a six-figure income. So let's make him do his job, the job that we sent him there to complete. Now, if we're going to select a panel of people, who's going to be on that panel? So I kind of think that that's a waste of energy and time. So because if we're not going to be the watchers, then who are the watchers? So the watchers are being watched by themselves? I think not. No. So we need to come up with another concept, and just start holding people accountable. If we're going to the polls to vote, let's hold these people accountable. We send them. They work for us. We don't work for them. Let's get what we demand. Put our demands in writing and have them met.
Well, when you say accountable, we put people in place that we think that are going to be accountable. And then when like you say, these extra perks that these big companies give out, change these people, turn them around. We have to find somebody that's going to be steadfast and unmovable to put in these kind of places. Because I guarantee you, if we put somebody weak in there, they're gonna get caught up in the system.
Well, the Bible even talks about money is necessary, right?
Right.
And we know money is necessary for things of purchase and for livelihood. But the Bible also says in that same book, it talks about the love of money is the root of all evil. So we're talking about people who have never, ever managed anything in their whole lives. And when they get to seeing that type of money coming in, they start changing. And that's what we need to stop. We need to start holding them more accountable, having more town halls, because everything's supposed to be public record. Let's get if they're talking about putting a panel, let's put our own people on the panel. Let's make sure that our people are holding their feet to the fire. We have to hold them to the fire, guys. Enough is enough. We've seen Savannah is being sold to the developers. It's been sold to the developers. We see the United States has been sold to other countries. We used to own everything that we manufacture in this country. Now we have to go to China, Mexico, Canada. This is crazy, but we have unions here. So we need to get union strong and start fighting.
Take back a union. It doesn't have to be a Teamster union. It doesn't have to be electrical union. Be a group of people just get together.
Right, united.
Understand. Yeah. A union is only strong as its weakest link. And
that's right.
We get people together to stand firm, our weakest link would be the weakest person in there. But we have to be able to hold that person together and make them stand firm with us.
Because I'm going to say this, and I'm going to bow out gracefully because I know I have to run. I know you guys were talking about DEI, and I don't support DEI, so I'm just going to go ahead and say that. Because when I'm out here marching, when I'm marching for equal rights for Black people, I don't see Hispanics and transsexuals marching with me, telling me. And see, if you look at DEI, Black people are not prioritized on there. We're not the priority on there. So, but we keep getting involved in other people's fight, and they don't get involved in our fight. So I'll bow out gracefully when it comes to people talking about that, because I'm not helping you fight if you don't help me fight. I'm coming to the aid of those who come to my aid. Okay, when I'm out here marching for Saudi Lee, I don't see nobody behind me that looks like them. I don't see white women behind me. I don't see Hispanic women behind me. I don't see Hispanics. I don't see transsexuals behind me. When I'm fighting for Maurice Mitzi being killed, I don't see none of those people behind me. So when I go to the Board of Education and I'm fighting because a teacher threatened the students, I don't see none of those people behind me. So forgive me if I choose my battles wisely.
Well, you have to choose your battles, and you have to know what army you have behind you, number one. Because if you don't know who you got with you, you're in trouble. You'll be left standing by yourself. And I've seen you left by yourself many a times. So I can understand your view on this, and I can understand your opinion. And I'm not gonna change mine because I'm pretty sure that we stand in the same boat. But I have to deal with people due to my position. I have to deal with everybody. And
yes, sir. And that's not saying I won't work with people
on an equal level.
Yes, sir. It's not saying I won't work with people, but it's the point that why do I have to be the first to give in? Why can't you come in and help us? If we help, see, that's the thing, unity. If we unify for real, not because it's only convenient for me at that moment, but if we unify for real, we'll be a force to be reckoned with. But that's the thing. Everybody has an agenda. And my agenda is the agenda of my people, the least, the lost, and the left out.
We were in a meeting, and I know you remember this. We were at a meeting, and one young lady said, I don't see this being my fight.
That's right. And from the Hispanic field, that's right. That's right. That's right.
When you in a meeting and somebody tell you, well, I don't see this as my fight. Well, when I don't see something as my fight, then you want to try to persuade me to make it my fight.
That's right.
So, you know, like
and
you
that's
said,
the name. That's the name. You're doing your show. Your show is called Vulnerable. See, they think we're vulnerable for real, but we're not vulnerable because of our thinking. We're vulnerable because they have pushed us into taking all of our resources. That's why we're vulnerable, but not that we're not smart. And I think they really think that we're plumb dumb. You know, I'm sorry, I'm some, but I'm not plumb.
Well, we're gonna give another shout out to Mark Hawley, David Banner, and Tanya C. Louise Kelly, I'm sorry. We're going to say good morning to all y'all this morning. Good having y'all on the show with us. Keep on watching, keep coming back. We'll be here every Tuesday, and we'll be bringing a different subject every week. So we want to make sure that y'all keep watching and keep telling somebody else, to watch the Vulnerable Community on Tuesday morning, because hey, we're here to talk about it. We tell it, and we're not ashamed about it. So good morning to you, and Rachel, good morning to you too. Love to have y'all with us. So we supposed to have a guest pretty soon, and come join us, and I hope you make it this morning. Because
yes, sir, I think he will make it. And before we get too far gone, Elder, can I ask you and ask the rest of the audience, please do not forget that we're having our Stop the Violence rally come next month. And we're not doing it, we usually do it in February, but this time it's been so much going on. We've been going from funeral to funeral, from house to house. That's what we do. We fight for the least, the lost, and the left out. So we're gonna have our Stop the Violence rally, and we're asking everybody that's tuning in, watching, to join us. We will disclose the area that we'll be in. We usually pick different spots of Chatham County, and it's necessary that we bring the young people in, because the young people are now the target. They've been targeting our youth and showing them. See, one time they was bringing alcohol to the Native Americans, and in the 80s they dropped the bomb called crack epidemic. Now here in the 2000s, they're bringing something more substance like guns, and they're putting hate messages out that you should hate your brother. The east side should hate the west side. The west side shouldn't be on the south side. The north side shouldn't be with that side. But guess what? This is all of our land. So
Yes,
if we don't get along, yes, sir.
The bad part about it is we forgot how, and I said we because I'm talking about the older folk now.
Yes, sir.
We forgot how to teach our kids about how to handle weapons. Number one, we put them up, leave them in drawers or whatever, and under the mattress, wherever you put them at, and just walk away from them. When I was coming up, we were taught, hey, this is a gun. This will kill you. This will kill somebody. You don't put your hand on it unless you intend to use it. If you put your hand on it, you use it. But there's consequences behind you using it. And they told us that there was jail time if you wasn't using it in your own, to protect your own self. We forgot how to do that.
Yes,
we
sir.
just left it on the shelf, and I'm saying we because I'm part of that generation of people. But we were taught, and my parents taught me how to use a gun. We didn't go out and just shoot at nobody. We were taught how to aim and everything else. But it's time for another break. Let us get ready and for the second half of the show, and we'll be right back with you after this break. Stay with us, Reverend Maynard.
Thank you so much.
Savannah, are you looking for some of the best Southern soul food? Then check out Kim's Cafe at 714 MLK Boulevard. The food is so good, you'll think that your mother cooked it. Located in the heart of Savannah, Kim's has a menu that includes breakfast anytime, lunch when you need it, and dinner so you won't have to cook when you get home. They also cater all types of events and can host your reserved event at the restaurant. Come see what everyone has been raving about. Great food, great atmosphere, and a great time. Kim's Cafe, 714 MLK Boulevard in beautiful downtown Savannah.
Need your garments cleaned with care and with a professional touch? Then bring them to One Price Cleaners in Garden City at the Old Farmers Market on Highway 80. Service you can count on.
Yes, sir. I bet the commercial, the break made me hungry.
That's all right. But get back to what you were just saying. You were saying about conflict resolution. That's what we need to be promoting conflict resolution, where we need to teach the youth. Just because I disagree with you does not mean that I hate you.
Right.
And it does not reverence for me to pick up a gun or a knife or a stick and bust you in your head and kill you or injure you or hurt you because we have a disagreement. Conflict resolution, we need to teach that. And some of us, the elderly people, need to learn conflict resolution because we're too. How can we teach the youth if we're fighting against each other?
It's true. That's true.
The teeth and the tongue need each other. Sometimes they get in each other's way, but they still need each other. Sometimes we bite down on that tongue and it hurt, but they still work together to make it right. So that's how we are in the community. We need to work together to make it right.
You know, it's a shame that sometimes we, like you say, you have to bite your tongue. But when you bite your tongue, you know why you're biting your tongue, because you don't want to say the wrong thing. And you've been brought up in a manner that you learn to respect each other. June 28th, Savannah Building Futures will be having its first men's conference. It will be called Black Men, Iron versus Iron. Iron sharpens iron, I'm sorry. And we'll have one of the best conflict resolutionists that I know of, and that's in Brother Eddie White out of Macon, Georgia. He'll be here doing the piece on conflict resolution. So we asked everybody to put that date in your mind, June 28th, because we will be, and it will be at St. Philip AME Church on the Boulevard.
So we need the youth there. So older men, grab your grandchildren, your grandsons, and bring them. Young men, grab your friends and bring them. If you have a baby, bring your baby, because we need to see all men in there. That should be something that we should walk in and have a overflowing amount of people there, that's men there, because we see so many times that the woman has to be the backbone in the family, because we see the males have been pushed out of the home, and that was by design. They're telling the women that, listen, if you want to get ahead in life, if you want to have a housing, you can't have a man live in your house. So we're gonna give you housing. You got to put the father out. We're gonna give you food stamps, but you're gonna have to not have a man in the. See, we have never dealt with all of that until the late 80s. The black community was always strong, and we always was a family unit. It means father, mother, child. Father, mother, child. And that's what we were taught. We were taught by our fathers and our uncles. And we need more uncles and fathers and big brothers to step up to the plate.
You're right. I tell you what, I think Brother Julius Hall is supposed to be one of our speakers also. And we may be we're gonna do a part of vulnerable community from down there. If we have to tape it, we'll do it from down there with the crowd, and we're going to air it, and maybe on Hot 21 we may be doing some live spots on Hot 21 also. So that's our radio station, everybody. So y'all got to listen to Hot 21. But hey, we're gonna be doing it, and we're going to have people there who are real. We're not talking about just to show up to tell you something they let you hear. We're talking about real folk, people who have been through it, have stood the test of time, and they know what they're talking about. And they're not going to bite the tongue and make it and sugarcoat nothing. It's going to be real. We're going to keep it real.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. And I have to give shout outs to all the brothers in our community that's trying to make a effort to make a change in our community. We have certain brothers that's out there fighting the good fight, and you are one of them. And we thank you as well, Elder. But I have to commend our newly elected sheriff. This young man, he was a coach, so he knows how to reach the youth, and he's out there in the community fighting side by side with us and with me, side by side, and with you as well. So we thank him. We thank the Julius Halls and the Jerome Irwins and the Jamal, um, and we thank some more of these young people, Robert Dixon and some of these young black men, that are out here trying to make a difference. Mr. Conte Williams, how he has a organization, he's always out there. These young people are amazing. I'm watching these young people come out, and in our community in West Savannah, we had young people such as Tim, God bless the dead, Tim. Tim Lewis. He was out there trying to make a change because he used to talk to me and him used to talk, and he would go out and take what I tell him and show him and take it to the community. That was our street guys. We need more street guys out here, because guess what? For the least, the lost, and the left out. That's the only way we're gonna get them. We missed the Anthony Mitchells and we missed all of those guys. We need more of those guys out here in the community. We need the more Reverend Anthony Pages out here, Pastor Sanders out here. We need more Donald Lowe's out here. We need Richard Halls out here. We need more of them out here.
Well, the thing is, when you start talking about going into the streets, a lot of people are afraid. I never met a man I'm afraid of yet. The only person I'm afraid is from the man upstairs.
Amen. Amen.
I can walk up and talk to anybody, whether they listen or not. That's a different story. But I can walk up and talk to anybody. And
Amen.
I know when I'm wanted and from when I'm not wanted. But I know how to talk to people and not to try to force anything on somebody.
Yeah, not to be an agitator. We have to learn when agitation is good.
That's it.
Because I'm known to be an agitator. That's what they call me, an agitator, and I take and wear that with pride. Because without an agitator, you won't get the clothes clean. You need the agitator to get in the washing machine to get those nasty clothes clean, and that's what I am, an agitator for the least, the lost, and the left out.
I hear you. I'm gonna start this conversation in just a minute. We just about ready for, but we got about 4 minutes for another break. So, but we're going to talk. I think last quarter of the show about ESPLOST, and we just need to get some of y'all opinion. I mean, y'all tuning in and y'all leaving your comments. So if you want to say something about ESPLOST, put your comment in the comment section, and see if we can't talk about what you want to see. So what you want to talk about. So we'll be doing that in the next quarter. But until then, Reverend Maynard, how has it been? Well, not how has it been. How is it that you and I can come together and we go all over Savannah? We go in all neighborhoods, and we don't have a problem, but other people claim that they go into the neighborhood and they get run out. What's the difference?
Because we're sincere. When you go, see, first and foremost, you can't go over there skipping. Okay, first and foremost, if you're gonna walk like a man, walk like a man. If you're gonna talk like a man, talk like a man. Don't go over there playing, because first of all, the devil ain't playing with you. Okay, we got to understand that the purpose of the enemy is to steal, kill, and destroy, and we know that most of these people that we're talking to, we have to meet them on the level that they're on, and if you are unapproachable to people won't receive you well. But if you can approach folks by talking to them, see, we can approach anybody and everybody because God is putting that in us. See, we have a heart for God's people, for the vulnerable community, as they call us, the marginalized community, the community that they said was downtrodden, the community that they said that had nothing left in them. But I'm here to tell you that there is a balm in Gilead, that there is something better for our people, that we are engineers, that we're scientists, that we're teachers. We are those people. And all we have to do is stir up the gifts that's in our children and our youth, and we show them it's a better way. See, you can't just go over there talking. You have to show them. It was called show and prove. Y'all, you remember that? And that's what we do. We show and prove. You see it in our lifestyle. You see it in our walk and our talk.
Yeah, you're right. We get out there, and I have never walked nobody and shied away from them. Wasn't even approachable. But it's something when you can go into the neighborhood and then somebody else claim they can't go in the neighborhood, and you just went in the neighborhood. It's a bad thing.
Yes,
and
sir.
people, I think they just don't want to go.
Well, I've been looking at Pastor Charles O'Barry. He's not afraid of the youth. He goes out there. Bishop William Roberts, my bishop, he goes out there. Apostle Hazel Scott, that little lady ain't scared of nothing. Let me tell you something. That little lady ain't scared of nothing. We need more of those people. We need more of the Apostle Pauline Mobleys, and we need more of the Gilberts. I remember the time when Jackie Gilbert and her brother would come out in the communities. We need more of these things. We need to close down some of the churches sometimes and unite and just come together and say, hey, we're here. We're here for the people. That's the things that we need to be doing. Dr. Clark, I have to give it to, I'll be remiss not to call Dr. Clark's name, Bernard Clark. Dr. Bernard Clark is one of the most giving men in our community. He is not afraid to get his hands dirty. I'll be remiss not to speak on him. That man is out there. Anytime I call him, he's right there. And I have to say that. Him, I can say these things about you guys. I can say these things even about Jay Jones. I can say these things about David Cutter. I can say these things about David Utter. I can say these things about Chad Mance. I can say these things about those people because I work in the community with these people, and I know what they'll do. I have reached out to certain people in position, and they have, oh yeah, we'll be there. We're going to be a part of this, and when it's time to show up, they're not there. But then, in a other setting, some other people will invite them, and they'll go right over there and speak, but they won't come out and speak to the community. That's what bothers me.
Let me say this, and then we're gonna take a quick break. They won't come out to our community until it's time for election.
Yeah.
And they won't come
All
out
the
of there.
cameras are
It's
rolling.
time for
The
us to take
cameras are
another
rolling.
quick break, and we'll be right back to do the final quarter of the show. And hopefully Charlie Brown will be ready to join us by then. So we'll be right back after this break.
For almost 20 years, ESPLOST has helped support our Chatham County schools and students and keep our property taxes low. Thanks to ESPLOST, Chatham County has better, safer schools, and we're keeping our property taxes low. All of these amazing benefits can continue by keeping a simple 1 penny sales tax that ensures we continue investing in our children's future. Our community thrives when we invest in it. Let's keep the momentum going. Vote early or on March 18th. Vote yes on ESPLOST.
Police in my whip must be thought I had bricks. Say I wouldn't make it, but it's happening quick. Hating on me now.
Hello, world. We're here, serving Savannah, Atlanta, Jacksonville, Brooklyn, Houston, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, and the world. The best music all the time. The greatest songs ever made, every time. Tune in to Hot 2100 Savannah and get a taste for your ears. Hot 2100 Savannah, serving Savannah and the world.
When it comes to the city, I'm the key. Gotta go to court in the morning for a plea. What you gotta pay to get, I hit that for free. And when I'm in the streets, yeah, I gotta tote that heat. It's hard for you to touch it, cause I stay up out of reach. Talking about ends dirty, I'ma make them meet. I've been down too long, I'd be damn if I don't eat. If you want someone to try, I'd be damn if it's me. I see why you mad, you ain't swagging like this.
Well, we're back, and we were hoping that the elder statesman would be here with us, but he isn't here with us. But we're going to talk about ESPLOST anyway.
Before you get on the subject of ESPLOST, I'll be remiss. I'm so sorry. I have to give a shout out to Craig Gordon and Gary Gordon. Those are some young men that help us in the community. And it helps that they're my cousins, but thank God for them. They're always out there and giving us what we need when we need it. And Ronald Haywood at Baldino's in Highway 80. We can always depend on him. We have to. I'll be remiss not to say that.
Well, we know that we have some people that we can call on, and when we call on them, they always answer, and that's the good thing. ESPLOST.
About a penny.
1 penny.
Yes, sir.
And all the tourism that we have in the city of Savannah, and all the money that I spend in the city of Savannah, that 1 penny makes a difference. You go and you buy anything, 1 penny, that money goes toward education. And when we think about education, we're not only thinking about going to school every day. We're talking about how to build schools, to make the schools safer, and to enhance the education of our kids. Only problem I have is, and it's not with the ESPLOST, is with the design of some of the schools. Some of them are designed like prisons.
Well, it's a pipeline. We do see that. It's a pipeline. But that pipeline was created by, quote unquote, it started with the Reagan administration, and then Clinton opened it up. And we have to put the blame where the blame goes, from pipeline to prison. When he did the 3 strikes, when he started penalizing these drug dealers, he started penalizing them for 3 strikes. I don't promote drug sales at all, but you're going after the the five and dime folks. You're not going after the industries that are promoting these things, because black folks didn't have planes and ships back then. But you start penalizing the black community and saying, hey, this is affecting, because back in those days we had not enough education, enough jobs openings, so we had to get a hustle on. And the hustle is what they were putting a burden on. And it causes a lot of our homes to be single parent homes.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna make that another show, because that what you said is true, and it needs to be brought to the forefront. We need to do a show on that one. But when we're talking about education, a long time ago, these kids don't even bring books home no more. We used to have the tote. I had at least 8 books that I had them tote either in my arm or in a sack. I didn't even have the backpack. We didn't have backpacks back then. We had to tote them in our arms or put them in a sack. And this ESPLOST helps put the electronics into the schools, help supply our kids with these laptops and stuff that they bring home from school so that they can study the work and get the work. They have these test days out of school, where they can work through through email and everything else.
With the e-learning, yes, sir. So how do you feel about the vouchers?
Be honest with you, I'm against the voucher, because the voucher, it goes against the public school system.
Okay.
They privatize. They're talking about privatizing the school system. Public schools didn't do nothing to nobody. Public schools educated a bunch of us. Public schools is where you could really get your real serious learning if you wanted to learn. But it's up to you to learn.
But don't you think that if there's an incentive that can bring more teachers into the public school by raising salaries, giving them, because these are people these educators are really the forefront of our community. So instead of just fighting against them, let's help give them the resources they need to educate our kids. And we as parents need to take some part, because if we can go in there and we can help control our schools, we won't have failing schools. But I'm not totally against the voucher, because guess what? If they're going to keep saying that all of our black schools are failing, give me a voucher and let me put my child that's not failing in a school that can help them progress, because they're using this system as a way to divide and conquer.
That's what I was going to tell you. They're using the system for that. But ESPLOST is supposed to also help with hiring more teachers and giving the teachers the raise that they need. But here's the thing. When you look at it now, you think about this. When a teacher goes into the classroom and she's giving those kids her all in all, like you say, it's up to the parents. The parents got to stand behind the teachers too, because a lot of times our kids are mischievous. And I'm not talking about just black kids. I'm talking about all kids. They're mischievous. They're gonna do things that they want to do and make fun and all this and everything else. But we have to stand behind our teachers. When I went to school, and that was a long time ago, when I went to school, the teacher had to write, they could paddle you. And when you got home, there was another paddling. No, that wasn't no paddling. That was a beating that you got. You know not to do that again. You know not to act up in school. We had a desire back then. We wanted to get out of our parents' house. Now, our kids' desire is to move back into our parents' house. So the desires are two different things, and the support system is totally different because they used to tell you if you wanted to, you're gonna get grown, you got to go out on your own. But when you got out there, you had to know something. You had to learn. You had to know how to handle yourself out there.
Elder, you said a mouthful, but let me say this: to add fuel to the fire. It's because they've taken out discipline from the parents.
Mm-hmm.
They have stopped the parents from disciplining their children. When they stop allowing the kids to talk back to their parents, oh, because ain't nothing gonna happen to me. You can't put me out your house because I'm not 18, and by law you have to take care of me. Right now I'm dealing with a family. They have a young man that he keeps getting kicked out of school. The mother is a single parent and she's crying and she's asking for help. She's begging the courts to help her. And guess what they tell her? Oh, we're not going to do anything because it's up to us. So I'm trying to take the initiative. I've taken the initiative to go to the sheriff. So the sheriff department is going to take him and do the scare straight. That may not work with him. We need these other males in the community to step up and say, listen, let's help this mother out. That's what Savannah Building Futures does. We have some situations like that, and Savannah Building Futures, we have stepped in and helped so many parents. Performance Initiative with Coach Carrie, she helps. We go over there and we help them. We need more people to be hands-on with our children.
Okay, we have reached our time limit this morning, but we're going to encourage everybody to go to the polls and vote. I'm saying I'm going to vote for ESPLOST. So we can tell you that's where I'm voting, and that's where we're going to leave it at this morning. But until next week, we will be right back here. And,
Tuesday's voting.
Next Tuesday.
Tuesday is voting, yes.
And to go to the polls and vote your opinion, your mind. And until next week, Reverend Maynard and Jerome Irwin, we'll see y'all again next week.
Be blessed, Savannah.
Y'all be blessed. And we'll see y'all. Bye now.
Good night.
Like this.